I started going to Sunday school from the age of about 6 or 7 years old, along with my sister. I went to Bonnie Down Sunday School in East Ham, where we learnt a lot about Jesus and disciples, a lot of the stories of the Bible, but never heard anything about salvation. Went there for a number of years, thoroughly enjoyed it. Thoroughly enjoyed Sunday school and all the stories and everything that came along with that. I must have been about maybe 10 or 11 years old when I was informed by a parent that I could have been or should have been aborted. Not understanding what the word meant or what it was all about, I became quite angry. And then later on, when I did find out what it meant, I became very angry and very rebellious and very unwanted. Started clubbing, smoking, doing my own thing in the teenage years, just trying to be a teenager, basically. When I got to 18, I met somebody. After being together for a few months, he said he'd become a Christian, a born-again Christian. I didn't know or have a clue what that meant, had no idea what that was. But he became a Christian, started going to church, and I decided that I'm going to go and live in a foreign country, which I did. I was there for a good amount of time, and then we got in contact with each other through letters and phone calls. And he started telling me about Christ and what Christ had been doing in his life. I still didn't understand anything about this. I just thought it was very, very good but strange behaviour. I eventually ended up coming back to the UK. I got invited along to a church service in a small hall in the middle of East London. There was a church service I got invited to Sunday morning. At the end of the service, I got invited to the altar call, where I'd heard the gospel preached for the first time and realised I was a sinner. I hadn't heard the gospel preached to me before. I'd responded, I knelt down and said the sinner's prayer at the altar, and Christ came into my heart. A week later, we got engaged on the 5th of April, 1987. A year later, just over a year later, Eric and I got married. A few years later, we became Bible study leaders. Within about 3 years, we became Bible study leaders. And within 5 years, we were launched into Luton to pioneer work in Luton, and that was 1993. We started to work in Luton. We were here for a number of years. After 8 years or so, we went back into our mother church, where we were there for 12 years. Got totally involved in church life, everything that comes along with church. And in 2013, we got launched back again to Luton to continue the work God has started here in Luton. And we're taking the church into its destiny, hopefully. That is our plan, that's God's plan for our lives. And I believe that I am just an ordinary person in Christ. But what that means is that Christ can change anybody's life from whatever background, any situation, and change it into an extraordinary life in Christ Jesus.